We're going to talk to Setuf, who is calling in from Spain. Setuf, you are live on Truth Wanted. What's going on?
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to biblically hear your thoughts on a different violence analogy, if that is biblically okay with you.
Oh my God. I know, first of all, you've called before, so I know you're kidding. But yes, what is the violinist analogy? What is that?
It's the analogy which shows that bodily autonomy justifies abortion, as far as I understand it.
Okay.
Do you know it? Have you heard of it?
I'll be honest, I haven't heard of this. I'd have to look this up. Do you know what's happening? Erin, do you know?
I'm somewhat familiar with the arguments, yeah,
Okay.
but not super clear on it. I have heard it once or twice before.
Yeah. So sorry if you could explain it just a bit more so I can understand it and I don't have to like read an internet article while you're talking to me. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was not expecting that, but I actually think that's perfect because I'm just going to present to you my analogy and I just want to hear your thoughts, what you think about it, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Okay. If you could be quick, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So let's say there's a violinist that wants to have sex with me. And in this hypothetical, I have a condition which can make someone physically depend on my body when I have sex with them. But I don't tell the violinist, okay? So let's say we do have consensual sex, and then it happens that the violinist gets connected to me and depends on my body. So my questions, I've got two questions to that scenario. Your opinion. Would you say I violated the bodily autonomy of the violinist? That's number one. And number two, would you say it's immoral for me to disconnect the violinist without their consent?
Wait, what is it? Is a violinist just a random like job title for that? I'm wondering how the violinist part actually matters to the analogy. Is it just like just a random one for that?
Person.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, you can just say it's a random person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it's never good to give your opinions on moral philosophy scenarios that you've just heard for the very first time live on air, because I will probably not give a great response without giving it a lot of thought. I think I'd have to hear it again to really wrap my mind around it, because I'm not even sure I fully understand exactly what's happening. So maybe if I repeat it, if you're saying if there's a violinist that wants to have wants to have sex with you, but if you have sex with them, then what are the ramifications? That they could die if they disconnect.
They become
from
connected to you.
Yeah, they lost me at the connection part because I didn't really understand that.
Okay, I can just repeat it if you like.
Yeah, if you could.
So let's say the violinist wants to have sex with me, and in this hypothetical, I have a condition which can make someone physically depend on my body when I have sex with them. Yeah, but I do not
physically dependent on your body when you have sex with them. Okay, got it.
Yes, there's a risk. It does not always happen, but there's a certain risk that if I have sex with somebody, they will physically depend on my body. They'll be connected to me. Like, let's say they will depend on my kid.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob connects with Squidward's heart in that one scene. He calls them brothers. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I got that. Okay.
That's the scenarios. So yeah. So let's say now we do indeed have consensual sex, me and the violinist, and then it happens that they do indeed get connected to me and my body, and they physically depend on my body. So in which instance, if I disconnect them, they will die.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Does the violinist, are they made, I'm not even sure how this fits into the scenario, but are they made aware of the fact that they might become connected to your body if they have sex with you consensually? Is that part of?
No, I specifically stated I do not tell the violinist about this condition that I have, so they do not know about this.
Okay. Well, that seems like shouldn't do that. Seems like that would be wrong. But if the analogy here is supposed to be about fetuses, I think that's what that's supposed to be, right? Is somehow the violinist is supposed to be like a fetus, the
original violinist analogy, yes.
I guess I'm kind of because like you're not, when you have sex with somebody, you're having sex with another person that's like fully grown and well, actually that's not necessarily true. When you have sex with somebody, there could be ramifications of that, and I think people should be careful of that. But I think this comes down to whether or not a fetus is actually aware of anything that's happening when an abortion is taking place, and whether that's actually causing harm. And like that's where you're probably going to find the biggest disagreement. I don't know, Erin, you
that's kind of what I'm leaning. That's what I'm leaning towards too. Is that like, I mean, we're talking about pregnancy. Yes, I think I'm going in the same space as you are here. I kind of lost my train of thought again here.
Right. But so ultimately, it comes down to harm, right? Are you doing active harm? I don't think abortion up to a certain point in time, at least within the first trimester, is actually harming a fetus. If somebody thought it was actually causing harm, there might be some other implications that you'd have to consider there. But I genuinely don't think that's causing harm. So I don't see that as a moral problem. But obviously at a certain point, I don't know. It is.
Yeah, I remember I was going to say, it's just, I think,
right? I don't know. Yeah.
I think it is disanalogous in that way, because you're talking about two fully adult, you said it, adult consenting people who are fully sentient and have all the abilities to experience harm or pain and all those things. So it's not exactly analogous to a zygote.
Right. Yeah. I think that's going to be the difference there.
That's probably what we're going to be.
Yeah. So Setuf, your thoughts on that?
So, I'm not arguing for zygote rights. I'm arguing for fetus rights, and there's a distinction there. But I don't even want to go into that. I'm just really curious on your thoughts on the analogy, even if it's not analogous. Just as I presented it, would you say I violated the bodily autonomy of the violinist? And would you say it's immoral for me to disconnect the violinist without their consent?
Man, that's so interesting. It's kind of like if you know that you have a sexually transmitted disease and you have sex with someone and you don't tell them about that. That's almost like the scenario that I would compare that to in my mind. And I would say that a moral agent or somebody who has the capacity to know that what their actions have harm on others should prevent themselves from avoiding the consequences of that. I totally as much as possible. That seems to make the most sense to me. But as Erin stated, there may be some disanalogous reasoning there when talking about a fetus. So I think that's a summation of my thoughts. Erin, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of on the same page as you, Dan. I'm thinking more about the responsibility on the person who has the condition. Not telling the other person that they're signing up for that kind of thing. As far as, I don't know. I would have to go off and think about this a little bit longer too, because I'm failing to see the analogy here, because I know that's what I know. It's analogous towards abortion. So I mean, and it is a hypothetical question. So I don't know. I would think that I would have to think about that a little bit more. I don't really know, because it seems like a weird thought experiment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, Setuf. Thanks so much for calling in with your topic. It's definitely one I haven't heard of, which is interesting. It just tells me that there's more I could probably look into on this particular topic. And I'm glad I'm not the one that has to be. I'm glad this is not specifically like an abortion call-in show or ethics of abortion call-in show. Because I mean, obviously, I have thoughts. I've obviously read about this stuff, but I'm by no means an expert on this particular topic. I just have opinions on things. So if you want to know my opinion, I guess you got it from me. So there you go. Is it the complete work of analysis from a systematic reasoning from logic point A to point B? No, but that's just, it's basically, you got my intuitions on it. So hopefully that's worthwhile to you. Excellent.